All right. Welcome, everybody, to H3TV. Today, we have a good episode, I think. Kind of depends on the callers.
Yeah, I don't know. I always think that, like, you know, it's up to us to make it, you know.
Oh, really? There's the pressure's on me?
Well, my pressure's on me.
You think it's on you? Why isn't it on me, too?
A little bit. Well, we're working together to make something out of, you know.
Hey, come on. What's going on out there?
Out of whatever happens.
Someone's slamming stuff in the background.
I hope they're having a good time.
I'm having trouble with the head.
I think you look great.
Because I feel like you're trying to out-Gecko me.
The deflation is part of the charm, though.
It is?
You know, like, people enjoy seeing imperfections in people.
Because also my neck is kind of tucked in. By the way, the number... Could you show the number? Did you like it kind of like fluffy?
A classic mistake that people typically do is they do it like this, and it's like a bib. Like, I see that on, like, all the time when people, like, will post, like, TikToks or whatever of themselves wearing a Gecko suit. But you gotta make sure you tuck it in.
Oh, see, I was tucked in.
Okay, yeah, no, that's how you want to do it.
Okay, good. So I'm here with Lyle Forever, aka the Gecko. He is teaching me his Gecko ways. For a little bit of a collaboration here. The Gecko is a bit of a psychoanalyst, I would say, the Gecko is, and he, I'm talking third person, I'm talking about you.
Sure.
You take calls.
I do.
And you listen, you give advice, we learn. Is that right? Do you want to add to that?
I would say I do a lot of listening. You know, I'm not a real therapist.
Oh, you're not?
I'm not a real therapist.
Oh, you didn't tell me that before.
Oh.
We like to troll.
I am a real. Okay, so I'm not a real therapist.
Wait, are you a real Gecko?
Well, that's what the other question I always get is, am I a real Gecko? I like to leave it up to viewer interpretation. If you, in your perception of reality and your perception of me, would like to view me as a real Gecko, I don't want to I don't want to ruin your perception of this. So it's up to viewer interpretation. If you would like to believe that I'm a real
hold
Gecko,
on. Can't we do that about you being a therapist?
I guess theoretically. But then I guess you would also, in your perception of reality, have to believe that it's not illegal for me to pretend that I'm a therapist.
That's a legal issue.
Yeah.
So if you believe you're a real therapist, make sure that your lawyer shares that.
I mean, no one cares. If someone tries to sue me, like, I think they will look ridiculous. Bringing me.
We're going to have to be careful with the advice we give. Because unlike you, I am a real therapist.
Oh, really? Where did you go to school?
Cornell.
That's awesome. What did you learn there?
I learned about the human mind.
What's the most interesting thing you learned at Cornell about the human mind?
Well, the thing about the human mind that's fascinating is that it's the brain is actually very soft. It's like a jello. You could poke your finger right through the brain.
Do you think the brain is chewy?
No, I think it's like jello. It is. The only reason you see brains in a solid form is because they're treated with chemicals. But if you were to flop my brain on this table right now, it would just.
If you had the opportunity to, like, eat a brain, if it was like an animal brain and, like, everyone around you was doing it and it seemed like it was okay, would you take the opportunity?
No, I wouldn't.
I respect that.
Would you?
I mean, I can't say how I'd feel like, because in the moment I might feel differently than how I would answer. Yeah, I might get caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
But I try not to.
I'm a vegan.
Really?
Yeah, for 1 week.
Okay, how's that been going?
Good. So brain is not vegan.
No. You could make like an artificial sort of plant-based brain, but I don't think it'd be the same.
I don't know. There's a big market for that one. But a lot of people eat monkey brains.
I've heard that.
You know, there's like tribes. There's like rare. Oh shit! Showed my hair a little bit.
What the hell? Lizards don't have hair, dude.
You know, there's like actually like horrible, fatal diseases you can get from humans eating other human brain.
Really?
Yeah. Like really messed up. You should not eat human brain. It's very dangerous.
Well, then I guess whoever has eaten the human brain, that it must be really delicious for them to be willing to contract the disease.
I don't think they know that about that risk. The people who are
okay.
eating the brain.
Well, they had to. Well, someone had to have eaten it for them to figure that out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
So let's see. We have calls lined up. So these host cues, these are ready, Dan?
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
We haven't taken calls in about 2.5 years, but we tested pretty thoroughly before the show. So
Okay. Let's see here. This is Hunter from Georgia.
Oh, beautiful.
Hunter, go ahead. You have 2 geckos and 1 question.
How can we help you, Hunter?
Hello, 2 geckos.
Hello, Hunter.
How are you today?
How are we?
I'm okay. How are you?
Pretty spicy, I'd say. Just very spicy.
Why spicy? Why did you choose the word spicy? That's a very specific way to describe how you're feeling.
I don't know. Just a very exquisite day when I can see 2 human geckos, very alive and well, on Twitch under the H3 banner, proudly serving their nation and presenting themselves to the foot soldiers.
Do you know what a foot soldier is?
It's a soldier who doesn't have a car.
Not in like, no, that's not right.
What is a foot soldier? I thought it was...
Do you know what WikiFeed is?
No.
Okay. We'll move on.
Is that an internet thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Hunter. You have a question?
Yeah. How do I approach a roommate who I know is the one leaving behind messes?
Can we get more details about the messes? Because obviously there's scales of messiness.
Exactly. Is it a couple dishes? Is it like, are they tracking dirt in the house? How bad is the mess?
So it's like 3 roommates other than me in a house. And so there'll be dishes that stack up. And bugs will start coming in. And I know that none of them are my dishes. And I don't want to say anything to the guys. I just don't know how to approach it.
Why don't you want to say anything to them? What's your apprehension? Do you think that they'll like get upset with you, that you're upset with them?
Well, as you can hear from my shaky voice, I relate to Ethan in that I'm very anxious most of the time. Pretty neurotic. So I just, when it comes to situations with confrontation, I don't know what to do.
Ethan, if this were happening to you, like, would you feel confident enough to just tell your roommate to clean up the damn mess? Or do you relate to Hunter?
Hunter, why did you say that about me?
Well, I don't know. You've spoken highly about not highly, about your mental health and your anxiousness, about how you overanalyze everything you say sometimes. That was back on Frenemies with Trisha, so maybe you've changed by now. But
right. I think you're describing I think maybe you have a problem, if I'm being, if I can make an assumption, with assertiveness, maybe? Do you have a problem with asserting yourself?
Definitely.
Right. How old are you?
I turn 21 next week.
Yeah, I think with youth, there's a problem with the confidence to assert yourself. I will say, when I was your age, I had more problem asserting myself. Part of the problem is because you don't know that you're right. You'd say, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can leave a dog shit they can take a human feces on the kitchen counter.
Right.
There's doubt.
That's Zach.
Right. I feel like as you get older, you have been in this situation before, and you are more assertive of the fact that you are correct that
exactly
it is not appropriate to leave a dog shit in the sink.
I'm a fucking savage. You gotta do it.
So Hunter, let me get some information about your living situation. How many housemates do you have?
3.
And they're all bad?
In different areas, yes.
Regarding the cleanliness, they're all kind of dropping the ball there.
Like, they'll keep their personal spaces clean, but all the combined spaces kind of just messy.
Hunter, can I ask?
Like just the kitchen, you have to move stuff to clean up, to cook. Sorry.
Is there anything you think your roommates don't like about you?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Probably that I have no opinion about things, and I say okay.
You think they don't? You think they are upset? Well, okay. So if your roommates are upset, you think by your passiveness, you are presented now with a great opportunity to be assertive. So this is your chance to prove yourself as having an opinion, as being assertive.
Seems like a win-win.
You're right. That could be a way to find my voice.
What is your fear? Is there a fear that this is going to backfire on you if you ask them to, hey guys, let's keep it a little cleaner?
It's just that it's not a very large space, and it's 4 guys, and I don't want there to be any like behind the scenes aggression, because that can just turn really uncomfortable really quickly, because nothing may be said in front of each other, but there's just this unknown tension that would come along with a situation like that I would rather not have.
Well, this is why you have to be honest with your roommate, because this is, not saying anything. That's how these tensions boil.
Right.
Behind the scenes, and you don't want them boiling behind the scenes.
I'd rather speak up and be wrong than be muffled and be wrong.
That's Greg Paul.
Beautiful.
Gecko has a point there. It really what you want to do is, the longer you're going to start to fester about these dirty fucking creeps. Do your roommates drink a lot?
I see alcohol in the fridge. I'm never there if they're drinking. They're drinking with other people. Definitely not me.
Is there resentment there that I detect?
Ooh.
No. I mean, I have like my own group of friends, and maybe I'm just, I don't associate enough with my roommates, and that's why I feel uncomfortable.
Interesting. So these aren't your direct friend groups. They're really just your housemates.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you wish you were closer with them?
Not really.
Well,
I want it to be like a relationship that's professional, but also, at the same time, kind of relaxed.
Would you describe a relationship between roommates to be professional?
I wouldn't. No.
It's definitely. It's definitely a different kind of relationship. I don't know if it's a professional one.
It's cordial.
Cordial.
Yeah.
That's a better word.
Well, seeing as they're not your immediate friend group, I'm going to say that you have even less to lose when you were going to politely ask them, "Hey guys, let's do this."
Very little at stake.
Yeah, there's very little at stake. If they were your real friends, I would be more concerned about the dynamic. But I would just tell them. And how would you word it?
Oh man. Well, Hunter, what's the truth?
Good question.
What's the truth, Hunter? You were.
We're your friends. We're your friends. Let's role play.
My personal space is a mess. Therefore, I do not leave a mess in the combined space. So it could be. I don't know.
Hunter, pretend.
The other guys are definitely nasty.
Hunter, pretend that we geckos are your friends, housemates, not friends.
Your cordial roommates,
acquaintances, housemates,
acquainted housemates.
We've all gathered. We've assembled here for you to tell us something, Hunter. Tell us as straightforward and passionately as you possibly can right now. What is on your mind?
Guys, geckos, the kitchen is a mess, and we are starting to have pests. Now, I would like to continue living here, so could we please, just please, today clean up the kitchen?
Hunter.
Maybe?
Hunter, I'm so glad that you brought that to my attention. I didn't even realize that I was making this mess, and I didn't realize that it was bothering you so much. And I appreciate so much that you brought this to light instead of silently resenting me, because now I'm given the opportunity to right this wrong. So thank you so much for being honest with me.
I have a comment. Who the fuck do you think you are? You are such a bad housemate. You literally ignore me, and now you're coming to me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon telling me to clean the kitchen. I mean, this is, and you're threatening to leave? I mean, this is passive-aggressive, dude. Why don't you just get out and find a new place to live?
Wow, thanks. I'll think about that. Who do you think you are?
Thank you so much for calling, Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter. I think we were helpful to him.
I think so too. I think he's gonna go do it now.
It's a lot to chew on.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a good guy from what I know about him.
Let's see. This one's about if you should try Triller. Do you know what Triller is?
I've heard Triller's like the new TikTok, right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't know anything about
So
it.
the guy that owns it, like, falsified Me Too documents to fire his ex-president, and also his ex-partner accused him of running a Ponzi scheme, as
Oh,
written
wow.
by Variety.
Oh wow.
He refuted it though, just to be fair. He's also suing me.
Oh, he's suing you?
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Do you think you're gonna win?
yes, for sure.
Sick.
I don't want to make this all about me, but I'm going to take this call.
Let's do it.
Jules, go ahead.
Oh, hi there. He's a big fan, been big fan for years, me and my wife. How are you doing?
Good. What about Gecko?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is honestly my first time.
No, I get
meeting
it. I get
Gecko.
it. I get it. I understand.
I mean, so far, I really do enjoy what he's saying.
Thank you. I enjoy what you've been saying as well. I think we both have very little information about each other, but I think that information is suffice enough for us to build a cordial relationship.
Something to build off of.
Yep.
Absolutely. Solid foundation.
Jules, can we help you with some issue, concern, or question?
Well, the main thing I've been a little bit curious about is Triller. I'm wondering if I should give it a try, honestly, because I've been seeing a little bit of shady stuff recently. Like I saw an article in the very reputable publication called Variety that the CEO was accused by his former business partner of running a Ponzi scheme. So I guess I'm wondering if I should try the app out, give it 1 star, maybe to 5 stars. We're just wondering.
Well, Jules, I'm so glad you asked. I would say the same thing. My answer would be the same for any application, which is try it, see how you like it, and then based on your experience and the information you have about the owner, Ryan Kavanaugh, give it a rating of 1 to 5. Give it a rating of 1 star or more.
Is that Kavanaugh like Kavanaugh?
No relation,
Oh, okay.
but same name.
Okay.
So, Jules, I would definitely recommend trying it, but definitely give it a 1 star or more.
I see. Okay, because I was a little turned off by it at first. So, I mean, he kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein. I don't know if anyone else thinks so, but
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
I don't see it.
All right. Thank you so much, Jules. I hope that we were helpful
Jules,
to you.
Jules, do you think you look like any particular celebrity?
Oh, you hung up on him.
I hung up.
Jules
on
is
him.
gone.
Good.
I was just going to let it sit
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry.
Good.
I just wanted,
Good.
Here,
I
I'll let you.
Anyway.
I'll let you pick the next one. See anything in here good? Let's see.
Chelsea from Michigan. Should I not read them aloud? I don't want them to get. All right. Chelsea from Michigan, looking for career advice about doing YouTube streaming. Really shy about it. What are you feeling?
Let's see. Investing in stocks.
Oh,
Are
God,
we
I have
qualified
nothing
for that?
I have nothing for that.
Advice applying for jobs. Question from his mom. She found a receipt of his brother's floor that said anal probe.
Let's do the London one.
Is this real? This is something we need to suss out if this is a serious call or not. Tom, tell us about your situation.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Tom. Loud and clear.
Top of the morning,
my
Tom.
goodness. All the way from London. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so basically, my mum's always been pretty open when it comes to sexual stuff, I guess. And then a few weeks ago, she came to me and said, I found, well, it was actually my grandmother that found the receipt because she was helping to tidy out his room after he went back to university. But they found a receipt where he'd bought an anal probe from I don't know, some website, Ann Summers or something like that. And my mum was like, I need to ask him because I don't want him to use it on my bed sheets. and stuff like that. So she was like, how do I broach this subject with your brother? Which I found quite funny, seeing as, I mean, she was quite happy to tell me about it, and I'm going to use this information quite a lot probably in the future. But yeah, just some advice for her to broach the subject, I guess.
That's interesting. There's a lot kind of unpacked there.
Would you consider your mom to be, pretty open when it comes to discussing sexual matters in general? Like, do you often talk about sex with your mother?
Well, not really. I mean, like growing up, I remember we were in the car, and she was just like, I don't know if you guys have Sky over in America, but a cable, I guess it's like a cable provider. And they have like adult channels on there that you can, well, some of them are free, some of you can pay for. And we were in the car, I must have been like, I don't know, teens, early teens to mid-teens. She was like, oh, by the way, Tom, you do realise that if you want to, when we're out, you can go on the adult channels, you can go on them. And I was like, but why would I do that? You know, they cost money. And then she was like, well, some of them don't. And I was like, right, okay, well, I mean, I guess that means that,
Tom,
yeah, go on.
What was your reaction to your mom suggesting that you watched pornographic content while she was gone?
I don't know, I found it pretty well, I guess quite abnormal, but also quite nice in some way to be like, you know, open about it and not putting any pressure and not having to hide stuff. And I mean, yeah, you know, it was quite nice, really, I guess. She was quite open. I just think that she probably was never as open with my brother, so that's why she was asking for advice. But she probably would have just made a massive joke of it with me if she would have found something from me, but, you know, my brother.
Do you think maybe your brother is like jealous of how open your mother is with you and how she's not as open with him?
Oh, I've never really considered that. I don't know. I'm pretty close with my brother, but not that close. So,
what is the age difference between you and your brother?
It's 5 years. So I'm 5 years older than him.
And what's your guys' ages?
I'm 26 and he's turning 21, or he's 22 now, maybe.
So he's a young man and he's already found interest in anal pleasure.
Yeah, I think I mean, he's got a girlfriend, so I don't know whether or not it's for him or for her. But
interesting.
You know, I don't judge. That's for sure.
And Tom, have you ever explored anally?
Not really. I'm pretty vanilla, if I'm honest.
You should ask your brother what it's like. Get his review.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, well.
Right. Is there any part of you where it goes like, that, you know, like his sex life might be a little more exciting than yours, and you're kind of like, I mean, it's pretty interesting to find the butt plug,
Right,
and then you're describing your vanilla sex life.
Right.
Is there any intrigue?
Not really. I mean, I guess, yeah, I haven't been as experimental as he might have been, but I've never I've never really been that bothered by it, I guess. And maybe I am deep down. Maybe I need to go and ask to borrow it or something, or find my own.
I wouldn't borrow it.
I think you should probably get your own.
Yeah.
Is there anything deep down when you really think about it, anything sexually that you've always wanted to try that you just haven't because you were too shy?
Oh. I don't. Not really, because
You're
I
a
think
liar.
I'm pretty open with my girlfriend.
Tom, you're lying.
About what I'm lying.
Be honest with us.
We
Tom.
won't judge you, Tom. We all have our thing.
I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I'm sure you can.
This guy's lying to us.
I get what a lie. What I really
Say
can't
it.
think.
Spit it
of
out,
anything.
Tom.
Just
Spit
say
it out.
nobody knows.
It's a safe place.
Nobody's listening. Yeah. I mean, maybe part of me is thinking that maybe my brother's got the right idea and maybe I need to experiment there, but I've never really, that's only just sort of a last minute thought rather than anything that I've considered for long term.
If you get anything out of this, make sure it's that you buy your own and don't borrow your brother's. That's very important.
Yeah, I think
Now,
that's probably the best.
back to the original question. Why on earth would your mom be concerned that your brother is going to get anal juices on her bedding? I mean, what are we dealing with here exactly?
Well, I mean, so she lives in quite a small place, so there's only one other bedroom. So in theory, there'll be multiple guests sharing the bed. So I guess it was just a bit of a like. Obviously, they changed the bedding throughout, but I just think it's like a, maybe just keep it to your own place or back when you're at uni or something. I don't know.
Is it high quality sheets? Like, what's the thread count?
I don't know. I was staying down there the other day, and they were quite bobbly, to be fair. So
okay, so they're kind of crappy sheets anyway.
I mean, listen. The truth
yeah.
is, Tom, and this is going to be a bitter pill to swallow for your mom, but the man is going to be having sex in that bed, whether she likes it or not, and which hole is penetrated is kind of outside of her control. So if she's, if there's a butt toy involved, it's out of her control. I mean, just get a good detergent. That's my advice to her.
69.
I'll relay that.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. And don't be afraid to try the butt stuff. It's important to keep your sex life, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask my girlfriend when she gets back from work. No, cheers, guys. Absolutely I love you, Ethan. And,
thank you, Tom.
I've never seen the Gecko before, and this was quite a spectacle. So, thank you to the therapy Gecko as well. And I'll take all the advice.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers. Have a good one. Bye.
Do you think he was lying? Do you think there was a thing that he wasn't telling us that he wanted to do something?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Are you open about that stuff? Like, would you be willing to say what your thing is?
No, I wouldn't.
See, he could have just said that.
Yeah.
And we would have been like, okay, but instead he lied.
I'd just be honest. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would you?
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I'd rather
just
say
acknowledge that.
Yeah, exactly. It's better if you acknowledge it than say no.
I know Tom has got some shit going. There was something in his head,
of course,
that was struck by lightning immediately to the forefront of his brain, where he's getting shit on she wants to shit on his girlfriend, or get shit on, or eat shit, or
I also had a hunch
play with shit.
Something about his voice. I also had a hunch it had something to do with shit.
Yeah. Well, Tom, best wishes. Male perspective, dealing with arguments, turning 30 this week. What should she anticipate in her 30s? How old are you, Lyle?
How old do you think I am?
I think you're below 30, probably.
I'm 23.
Oh, you're really young. Fuck. So you have no perspective
I have no perspective on this at all.
Interesting.
Just lost a lot of credibility right there.
Her estranged mother contacted her for the first time. Stopped talking because she hit on Alexa's or her boyfriend. Really?
Estranged mother. Interesting.
What do you think about that? Sounds interesting.
Let's do it.
Alexa Ray. Alexa Ray.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Can hear you great. Fantastic.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling.
So basically, just to give you a brief synopsis, my mom and I never really got along.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't spoken to her in about, a little over 5 years. Because when I was interested in a guy, I had him over for the first time. I was living with her. And she answered the door to welcome him in her bra.
Are you serious? Is this real?
I'm being 100% dead serious.
Wow. And how did your boyfriend react?
At the time, he actually wasn't my boyfriend. He was just a love interest. My very first, I was really head over heels for him. He was my best friend.
Now, are you intimidated by your mom, by her looks? Is she kind of a cougar of some kind of sort?
So she was always I guess the MILF the hot mom that everyone wanted to come over to the house to see, I guess. So there was always that. But she seemed to do whatever she could to get attention around my friends and especially the guys that were interested in me, to kind of take attention away from me. So I don't know if maybe, I don't know what her issue was, but we always bumped heads. We never really got along. So after 5 years of, basically cutting her off, I moved out, and because I couldn't take the craziness anymore. Now she's contacting me again 5+ years later, and I don't really know if I should speak to her again.
What did she say when she reached out to you?
She said that she cared about me, she hopes I'm doing well, and that she would like to talk to me when I'm ready. But I don't really know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm at a really good place in my life now, and it took me a long time to get here because I had a pretty rough childhood. That wasn't just it, but that was part of it. So I feel like maybe I'm healthier without her in my life, but also, obviously, like when Mother's Day and holidays roll around, it's like sad to not have your mom around. So should I give her another chance, or what do you think?
I have more questions for you. Do you feel like your mom was always in competition with you growing up?
Yeah, I do. I feel like she was definitely, she had some, I don't know what her problem was exactly, but she would always pick out things that she didn't like about me and say, well, if you just fix this about yourself, you would be so much more attractive. You'd be so much prettier. Guys would like you. Or if you just fix this about your personality, I think that you would make more friends. And it would always kind of nitpick. So.
And what kind of examples would she pick of that?
My hair, she hated that I wouldn't get highlights in my hair, which was really stupid, I know. If I left the house without makeup on, she said that I really should put on makeup before I leave the house.
Old
and
school.
it was just those little things
And at the
that
time,
added up.
At the time, did you recognize these things as ridiculous, or did you take them to heart?
Oh, no, I took them super to heart. I was so insecure for a really long time. But now I'm pretty okay with it now. It took me a really long time, but that's why I stopped talking to her, was because it wasn't just obviously the guy that I was really interested in, and she did that. And he actually, not to sidetrack or anything, but he ended up coming into my room and we were talking, and he said, wow, your mom's so hot. So I was
painful.
like, okay, that sucks.
So, yeah, one thing I've noticed throughout my long 36 years on Earth, not to bash you for your youth at all, 36, is that there are some times with mothers who are developmentally stunted, or may I assume that she had you at a young age?
No, she actually had me in her late 20s.
Okay.
So she wasn't super young, but she's always had a problem with, I guess, attention, and going out and partying and trying to get guys' attention.
One thing I've noticed in mother-daughter relationship is that when the mom competes with the daughter, it can be one of the most damaging dynamics for the daughter. The daughter should be having unconditional love and support and character building and affirmation from the mom. When the mom, who's just supposed to be your support beam, your load-bearing beam, is the one that is criticizing and tearing you down for her own benefit, that can be one of the most damaging things that can happen in a young girl's life. And so I'm first of all very, very sorry that you grew up with a mother like that, as nobody deserves that. How do you feel? Do you forgive me if this is insensitive, do you think your mother is more attractive than you are?
I used to, but I've kind of come into my own. I was really insecure, so I thought that everyone was more attracted than me. I had a really bad time with my self-image. But now that I'm older, I take a lot of pride in how I look, and I think that she might have been jealous when I was younger.
Oh,
and
for
I'm
sure.
not trying to
Guarantee
sound like
that.
full of myself. I have my own insecurities, but
Alexa, I just want to say I'm really proud of you for your growth.
Absolutely.
I mean that.
That's hard. That's a hard.
Thank
but
you.
there's basically two outcomes from that situation.
Yeah, yeah.
What you've achieved or killing men.
Well, there is another thing where, like, you know, because a lot of times if people like get the kind of thing that you're getting, they'll like bring it down. Like if you, I don't know if you're planning on having kids, but it doesn't sound like if you have a daughter, you're going to do the same thing to her. Because a lot of people, I feel like, will do that to like
Right.
get back
Cycles of
at
pain.
them. Yeah, cycle. And by you know, really, you know, getting over and working on your insecurity, you're breaking the cycle. And I'm
Break
proud
the
of you
cycle.
for doing
That's
that.
everything.
thanks, guys.
We still haven't answered the question, but I still have more questions for
Yeah.
you, actually. Is your father in the picture?
Yeah, he's. We didn't really have a relationship for about like 7 years of my life, but now we're best friends. I mean, I love him
Interesting.
to death. He's amazing.
And so what was the reason he wasn't in your life until recently when you guys became best friends?
He actually moved to a different state for work. He had to support us because when the market crashed, he lost his job, and the only thing that he thought he could do was move back to where he originated his work from, because he had a clientele up there. So he would only be able to really make money for us if he moved. That's what his, logic was at the time.
But he didn't, you guys never talked on the phone?
I had a lot of resentment towards him for that. So I didn't really speak to him. And then my mom had a lot of like brainwashing tactics, I guess. Like she would tell us that he abandoned us and that,
Right.
the lights would turn off and he didn't pay her and all of this stuff.
Right.
And really, I found out like he was paying her and he was trying to get in contact with me. So a lot of like brainwashing, I guess.
Right.
Sorry to be so heavy. I know this is supposed
Not
to be
at
like
all.
me.
No.
It's not supposed to be anything.
Exactly. It's not supposed to be anything.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. But yeah, that's why.
I think I'm ready to give a final verdict. What are your thoughts on the mother situation?
I mean, it sounds like you've worked very, very hard to get to where you are, and I don't know. I wouldn't screw with that by bringing her back in.
Yeah.
You wouldn't risk it?
No.
So, I would say be very careful with this woman. But the mother relationship is so important that, as long as you're cutting her out, like you mentioned on the holidays and stuff, I mean, everybody needs their mom.
Yeah.
But you need to keep her at arm's length. You are your own woman. You have built yourself out. You have a new foundation that is strong and powerful, and you cannot let her near that foundation.
It sounds to me, Lo, that foundation is strong enough to a point where, like, if your mom did start saying stuff to you, you'd be like, my foundation's strong enough.
Right.
She can't break me anymore.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Do you ever when your mom would give you any of these kinds of insults, would you ever push back on it, or do you just take it?
When I was younger, I would just take it really and absorb it. I started pushing back when I was like around 15, 16, and that's when our relationship got super tumultuous and bad. And then eventually I left when I was 17.
Oh, wow. That was
but
bad
most of the time I would
situation, yeah.
absorb it.
And if you started a relationship with her again and she gave you some of these comments, how do you think you'd react now?
I think I'd be pretty okay. Obviously, it would hurt, and it would just kind of bring up some old stuff that I think I've already worked through. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I'm leaning right now.
Well, you owe her nothing. Remember that. and do whatever's best for you. If you think bringing her in back at a distance is good, if you think you need more time, you owe her nothing, and this choice is about you.
Amen. Okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate the advice.
All right, Alexa.
Thank you so much for having the courage to share with us.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Amen.
Good luck out there.
I've been peeking over at the chat. Chat's been very supportive.
Yeah, they liked her.
Yeah.
You know, that is, I've seen that time and again, the mom who's jealous of the
Yeah.
daughter, and it's such a bad situation. It's like, get over it. You're a lady now. You got a child that you need to support. It's not about you anymore, you old hag.
That was a great point. Like the mother's supposed to be this barrier of support, and it
Yeah.
sucks when she is the bad thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And, the thing is that usually a woman like that obviously has, as you touched on, the cycle, right?
Yeah.
She probably had a similar mother, and she was not able to break the cycle. So
Proud of Alexa for doing it.
she did it.
Alexa Ray. I don't know if she's one of those people who you have to say the whole thing.
Alexa Ray.
Alexa Ray. Or if Alexa's just fine.
Need relationship advice from a male perspective about dealing with arguments. Need advice for a first date. Difficult
Trey,
managers.
The truck driver calling in. I kind of want to hear about this truck driver.
Trey, the truck driver. Trey, the truck driver
Trey.
from Virginia. What's going on?
Hey, I got a date with this girl that I've been talking to for like 2 weeks, and we got a first date coming up tomorrow, and I just need some advice. I'm a bit nervous.
Is this first date different than other first dates you've had?
I don't really go on a lot of dates because I'm a truck driver, and like dating is hard, but I feel like there's something special, and it's just like I'm just getting on my like super nervous and excited, but I'm just like I don't know what to say or what to do when I first see her. And I'm just
When was the last
trying
date?
to
When was the last date you were on, Trey?
man, like the last date I was on was with my ex-fiance like 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
And
yeah.
how long did you start trying to go out and date again after you broke up with your fiance?
Well, I went through like a period. I became like an alcoholic for like 6 months, and then like after that, I did like a year of contemplation. So like I don't know, maybe like in the past like year, I've tried to start dating. And once I got my crap together.
Trey, how old are you?
26.
Gainfully employed.
Pretty good.
That's not easy these days.
It must be really hard to date as a truck driver. Are you like, how many hours a day are you on the road?
So I'm usually on the road consistently for a month, and then I get like a week at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trey, how would you rate yourself on a dateability scale of a scale to 1 to 10? How much of a mate, as a mate, would you rate yourself?
Well, I like to think that I'm pretty confident, so I'd probably give myself like a 6. You know, like nothing too crazy, but nothing too bad. You know,
Doesn't sound that
I got a
Confident,
job.
yeah, I was gonna say 6 is not a very confident.
Well, what? Yeah.
I was gonna say he's gainfully employed. That's
That's
big.
huge.
That's huge.
Trucking is
I've
kind
been
of a
on my
hard
own since I
one,
was
though, to sell because
17.
you're never there.
Of course.
Is there truck dating websites?
There is, yeah.
There's gotta be, right?
Truckermeet.com or something like that. Where did you meet your date? Is it on a dating app?
Yeah, on a dating app. I was passing through Virginia. I actually don't live in Virginia. I drive everywhere. But I met her on a dating app, and we just started talking. And I saw her profile, and I was just immediately hooked.
You gave yourself a 6. What's holding you back from a higher score?
I guess it's more just like, I'm a bigger guy,
Heavy?
I'm a truck driver.
How much
as
do you
well,
weigh?
So, like, I feel like that's pretty. I want to say, like, 285.
And how tall are
Around
you?
that time, around that period. I'm like 6'4".
Big guy.
Yeah, pretty
Big
tall.
guy. Little heavy. Are you conscious about your weight? Is losing weight something that you'd like to do?
It's something that I want to do, but like I'm not really too conscious about it. Like I'm a bigger guy, and I feel like someone's gonna like me regardless of whether I'm big or skinny. And I like to think that I have a pretty solid personality, so I feel like that makes up for that potentially.
What do you think are the best aspects of your personality?
I like to think I'm optimistic. I'm usually very happy. Of course, I suffer from problems like most people, but I try not to put that too far in the way of life as it is.
You're very tall. I mean, that's kind of a lot of girls like that tall shit.
It's big. It's big.
Yeah. So that puts you in. You have a job. You're tall. You've got a great personality. I think you've got a lot going for you. So tell me about this girl. What's so special about her?
Just like the way that she is. Like she's extremely intelligent, like very intelligent. She has like ambition for the future. Like when we talk, we don't talk like, I hate to say it, like a lot of people get like sexual when they talk with people, but it's like not like that at all. Like it's always very like just an intellectual conversation. I don't feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. You know, she's very well traveled. Like I've been to a lot of Eastern European countries and South American countries, and she's been to a lot of different countries. So it's just like, I don't know, like everything about her is just like amazing in my opinion.
That sounds exciting.
How long have you known her for?
We've been talking like every day for like 2 weeks, and I haven't really seen any downsides yet.
I feel like she's like the way you were talking about her after only being talked. I know you say every day, but like 2 weeks, it's like you don't want to build up such a high expectation off the bat of this person that you haven't met yet. You know, because then I feel like that's also going to make you feel like, oh, she's so amazing. I don't, stack up to her.
This is the classic, and I hate to use this term, but you're talking about putting the pussy, as they say, on the pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say, listen, dates are stressful. Mm-hmm. Especially when they're people you're interested in. There's really nothing to do about that. Just try to be yourself, really. Be yourself. And one thing I will tell you is when you see her, first of all, don't play it too cool. Tell her that she looks nice, that you love talking with her. Make her feel comfortable and let her know that you like her and that seeing her physically, because she's probably just as nervous as you are. And so when you're going to say, "I'm seeing you, and I like what I'm seeing," and let her know that will make everyone comfortable. Don't be afraid to compliment her.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask her to compliment you. Say, "Hey, well, I gave you some compliments, and what about me?"
It's your turn.
It's your turn. Make sure that you get some compliments out of her.
Just say it's your turn and stare at her until she responds.
Do not come.
Do you have a big one?
I'm sorry?
How many inches is your penis?
Oh. I guess I'm pretty average. I don't.
When's the last time you took out a ruler and genuinely measured to the inch?
Oh man, I was like maybe 14.
So it's probably grown.
I don't know. It was
probably likely. Mine hasn't.
Really, it hasn't grown since you were 14.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean I haven't measured.
You're doing pretty well.
I was 14.
Well, I'm married. Yeah, she's stuck. I mean, I penetrated her and had a baby twice. So
actually, here's what you should do: is you should get this girl pregnant, and then she'll be with you forever. That's a strategy that you could use.
Listen, listen. Just be yourself. Dates are stressful. I'm happy for you. and just get in there and just show her that trucking ain't the only thing he can do. What do you do to pass the time on the road, Trey?
It's gonna sound really unoriginal, but I like to listen to your podcast.
Thank
when
you,
I'm
Trey.
Driving.
Thank you.
It helps pass the time.
Thank you. Do you do drugs or anything when you're driving to stay up?
No, I'm a good trucker. I follow DOT law. I stop
Good
when I
boy.
stop, and yeah, I've never done drugs a day in my life. Well, I've drank alcohol, but I never smoked weed or anything like that a day in my life.
Good boy.
Do you have a lot of friends that are truckers? Is it like a scene? You know?
Not really. I have a couple of friends who are truckers, people I went to trucking school with, but most of the friends that I have, are people I play D&D with and
D&D?
other tabletop games. I'm a huge nerd. I'm sorry.
I feel like D&D, it's like a lengthy experience. It seems like
It's trucking. It's kind of a form of trucking at home.
Right. It's trucking at home. Would you say that's accurate, Trey? The truck driver?
I would say when it comes down to D&D and stuff like that, it's more just I just like to go into this world of imagination. It's like an escape from the monotony of the day-to-day world. Usually play at night when I'm done driving for the day, so it's a really
school?
helpful.
Yeah, he said he mentioned a bunch of
relaxing
friends at
experience.
trucking school. What is that like?
What is trucking school? Why? How is that real?
Do you have a degree?
Oh man, so the company I work for, you apply online and they'll bring you there and they'll.
Sounds pretty easy.
Thank you, Trey. He dropped.
Oh no, we lost
He
Trey.
sounds like a tall guy. If you're tall, it's it's unfair to a short king. I don't consider myself a short king, but I'm average height.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11" on a good day.
Okay, cool. I'm five. I used to tell people I'm 5'6.5". I used to bump it up and tell people I was 5'7". Now I'm just like, fuck it, I'm 5'6". This is who I am.
Embrace it.
Embrace it, exactly.
Don't even go for the half.
Exactly. I don't even go for the half. I just embrace fully.
Look, I'm a 5'6". Do you consider yourself a short king or an average king?
I would say I think 5'6" these days is considered a short guy.
Short king.
Yeah, short king.
How do you feel about being a short man?
I used to care more than I do, but it's I can't change it. It's one thing if if I were self-conscious about my weight or anything, you could change that, but you can't change.
Can't change the height.
You can't change the height.
That's
change whatever else you can around.
That's exactly right. You can't change what you can't change.
Exactly. And that guy's got a whole foot on me.
Yeah, he said he's 6'4".
I wanted to ask him where the date was.
The problem with having an average-sized penis, though, when you're 6'4", is that it's gonna look small.
Exactly.
That's kind of the advantage of being short.
Yep.
It always gonna look bigger.
I've been told I have a Goldilocks penis.
Perfect size.
Yeah, not too big, not too small.
I've been told my penis is like cold porridge.
Oh, really? Why?
He has
why
a massive
cold
penis.
porridge?
It's just in the Goldilocks analogy. That was the one she didn't like.
Oh.
Too cold.
Did the person who told you that not like your penis?
Presumably, I haven't analyzed it too much, but that would be the conclusion. Yeah.
I'm glad that you haven't thought about it. It hasn't kept you.
It's
up
too
or anything.
painful. Goldilocks?
Goldilocks.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Well, you have that going for you.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get.
Let's see. What else we got? How to get through this COVID shifting to real world, but not a lot of people are vaccinated.
COVID-19!
Married, about to get married, want some advice on how to keep a marriage fresh and make it last?
That's all you.
Wants advice for applying to jobs? What do you think about that?
Yeah, let's hear Jack.
Jack, I want to help you find a job.
Hello. Hi. I'm a big fan.
Thank you, Jack.
So basically, You know, I've been looking for jobs in this, I don't want to say post-COVID world, but, you know, we're kind of coming out of it a little bit. And, you know, a lot more things are open up than they were a year ago. And it's been surprisingly hard for me to find a job. I did apply to a Topgolf.
It's exciting.
Which is, it's basically like a golf, but it's like bowling, I guess. I don't know.
We know what Topgolf is.
But
right?
anyway.
Actually, I don't know what.
Yeah,
okay. It's
So
a driving
basically-
range.
He said it has bowling too.
Yeah.
No, that was just an analogy.
Oh, okay.
It's like a new age golfing a driving range.
Oh, okay.
Very popular with the kids.
Oh, that's cool. Do they like serve beer there and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah,
cool.
and they can like track how far your drive goes and stuff.
There's like screens and computers and shit.
I don't really know. I've never been to one. What is Topgolf, Jack?
Yeah, so you basically got it. Like it's like a driving range, but it's like 3 or 4 stories, and they track your ball somehow. Anyway, I don't know. Don't ever apply there. That's just going to be my 2 cents, because I had the worst job application process of all time. Basically, they had what's called a hiring event. I don't know if you've ever witnessed or experienced one of these, but basically, the whole ordeal, it was like a 3-hour thing. It was one of these like group things where you had to share a fact with the group.
And you haven't
Really
been hired
awful.
yet.
I have not. Well, they called me back and just basically
They making
said,
you come share with the group, but you haven't been offered anything.
What fact did you
felt
share
like-
with the group?
Great question.
Guitar. So I told them that I play guitar. So that was like my little corny, you know.
Did you think that was a
thing.
good fact to share in retrospect?
I don't think it was bad, but I think, you know, there could have been a fact maybe that was a little more useful.
Of all the facts that people shared, what fact did you find the most interesting? That made you feel bad about your fact?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if this one was necessarily great for hiring, but like there was this one woman who, I think she was around like 60, and she said she was a retired PE teacher, and she said that she's had to listen to so much Kids Bop that she could go crazy.
Well, did that get a laugh?
Yeah, I got a laugh. I got a chuckle.
Did that make you kind of feel like, damn, I wish I got a laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like one of the first people, you know, and so I didn't really know what
Tough.
like the.
That is tough.
They call that
people-
under the gun in poker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you came with a bad fact. Do you think that affected your kind of your status with your potential as an employee?
Yeah, I think that I think the fact would be important, but there was so much other stuff. Like when they actually eventually took us to interview, I kind of I made a mistake with what like positions I wanted to apply for, because they just they got the wrong ones, and I didn't want to correct them and be, you know, like that guy for some reason.
So tell me about what position you applied for on accident. Like, break that down for us.
So basically, I wanted to be just kind of like a waiter, you know, or like you know, like a busser, something like that. And
you think sharing a better fact would have affected your
Yeah, I think definitely a better fact.
If you could turn back time and give a new fact, what would your new fact be?
I would say, like, I like to put the dishes away.
Fantastic fact.
Yeah, I like to serve white women mimosas, you know.
There's no other racial, or there's no other members of any other race that attend that Topgolf?
I wouldn't know, because I've never.
You never worked there, right? Didn't get the job.
So.
Did you at least
I didn't
like?
get the
Were you a
job.
patron before? Did you scope out the Top Golf before to see if it was a good place?
They're not open yet. They're like it's opening this August, and I've been to one in like Arizona before, but obviously I haven't been to this one.
Jack, if you could do literally anything, like a dream job, what would that be?
Dream job. You know, I want to be a stand-up comedian. Something like in
Do we
the
dare ask him?
entertainment world.
For a joke.
Just because
Exactly.
Do you have any jokes?
Do you have material?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, mostly like stories, stuff like that, you know.
What's your best?
Are you prepared to deliver a story to us now live?
Yeah, I could if you want.
Absolutely, I want it. But just take your time. Here's what I'm going to promise you, Jack. I promise to be brutally honest with you, okay? And that's what you should want from your audience if you want to improve.
Absolutely.
So, Jack, I just want to prepare you that before you get into this, be prepared that we are going to be brutally honest with you.
How long is the story?
Good question.
It's always good to ask.
I think
Could you do
I'll
it?
tell. I think I'll do, just to keep it kind of on topic, I'll do the story of my my appliance to Topgolf.
Well, that's what it's about, but...
Oh, we already heard that story.
No, it's Jack. Yeah, you heard the abridged version. This is the
This is the bit of the experience.
This is the bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a bit. Okay. So this is. How much work is this? A bit that you are that you've prepared. This is a bit that we said, okay, this is the bit. I've rehearsed this. I know the beats. I know the laughs. Or is this just going in kind of dry?
I performed it a few times.
Okay.
Okay, it's been 4 and 4. Great.
Okay, Jack, the mic is yours. We are your captive audience.
Okay. All right. So I've been looking for a job for a while, and I applied to Topgolf. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. But basically, what it is it's a 4-story driving range, and I had a appliance experience that almost shook my world. It shook my belief in humanity. And it was just, I don't know, it was a scarring experience. Basically, I got a text saying that they were doing a hiring event. I don't know what a hiring event is. I just assumed that I'd go there and apply, but, you know, it was whatever. So I go there.
Do you think a joke should have occurred? But not to criticize, but like, are we getting the setup or?
I feel like you need to punch up some of these beats of the story.
Definitely. I think if there's nothing funny going on yet, we need a cut to the chase situation.
Right.
Where it's like, I went to a hiring event at Topgolf.
Yes.
The stage is set already.
Right. Like
done.
I'm hearing too many you're giving your thoughts about every beat of the thing. I just want to hear the beat.
Which would be funny, or which would be fine if you had jokes about them.
Right.
But so far, what we're getting at is we're doing the employment event at Topgolf. Do you want to start over or do you want to continue?
Yeah, I'll start over.
Okay.
Are you started from the very beginning?
Yeah, with our notes, please.
Yeah, with your notes.
Okay, let's see if you incorporate them.
All right. So I went to a hiring event at Topgolf the other day. It was very weird. One thing about this event that was different than most is the Pitbull and Katy Perry music that was blaring in the background. It was very jarring. And just kind of like that whole group attitude of, you know, we're the best, that kind of stuff. And so we all get together, and they start with a little Q&A, you know. And basically they say, if you have any questions, we'll answer them. And it's dead silent. Nobody says anything. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, we'll just be able to skip the Q&A portion. But this one woman decides to ask, she goes, what are 5 things you like about working at Topgolf? And I'm like, why the fuck do you need 5 things? Why do you need, 2 things at most? I think 2 things is, that's good. But if you need 5 reasons to work somewhere, then just don't fucking work here.
When you told, so you told this at like an open mic or a comedy club, right? That's what you said.
A few times,
Mm-hmm.
you said.
A few times. Okay, and how did it go when you did it?
Well, the setup, obviously it was just people, just kind of listening. And then when I started getting into the jokes,
the funny part. Have we entered that part yet? I'm uncertain if we have. No offense. Have we entered the joke portion of this?
Can we cut straight to the point where you felt like people in the audience were responding well?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then probably my advice would be to get to that part as soon as possible.
Cut everything before that part.
Pretty much.
Okay. So the event was hosted by a man named Wolverine. I shit you not. His name was actually Wolverine. And when they introduced him, they sort of just got in a circle and did a, welcome Wolverine. And they got out a banner for him to run through. And as soon as he hits that banner, he eats shit so hard, he falls to his fucking face, all right, and tries to play it off like, nothing happened. And
this is the funny part?
It's supposed to be.
This is the funny part. Okay. What do you think? Well, Jack, you're really just recounting what happened. I think if you want to be a stand-up comedian, you're going to have to add something to the story that is an original edition of your own that's funny. The anecdote of somebody falling is I would hesitate to call that a bit.
Do you have a certain, you have to have some sort of commentary on the fall? Was there anything you noticed about the fall, a simile it was like when this happened with this thing, Do you have any further commentary on the fall that might be humorous?
The fall. It was the fall. Much similar. It was the fall of a man, 50-year-old man, who goes by the name of Wolverine.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, was he okay? I'm actually worried that he's 50.
Yeah. No,
did he resemble Wolverine at all in a physical appearance?
No, he
did not.
No, he did not look like Hugh Jackman.
So maybe that. Well, not Hugh Jackman. I resent that. Wolverine is a fictional character that existed long before Hugh Jackman. So let's not even go there, okay, Jack?
Okay. Yeah,
thank you.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
He looked like Gerard Depardieu.
Okay.
He kind of looked like.
So maybe what's funny is that his name was Wolverine, but he didn't look like Wolverine, right?
Was he writhing in pain for a while afterwards?
A male version of the schoolmaster from Matilda,
No.
I haven't seen Matilda.
I have. It's been a while, though. It's a very specific reference.
It's very specific reference. Maybe that'll resonate with one person. And
Jack, I think you have a long way to go. I'm not saying give up, but I am saying that keep going. Keep getting out there and getting the experience, and never say never, right?
I know it's hard to do stand up in front of one of your idols.
Oh, thank you. Now you're talking about me?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I'm not going to tell you give up, but just keep working on it. You're probably a young guy, right? Like, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, you're a young guy. Just keep slamming, all right, Jack? Keep slamming those balls. All right,
I love
take
you,
care,
Jack.
buddy.
Oh.
Take care. He will not. He's not going to make it.
You know, he seemed like a sweet guy. Maybe he'll
Yeah,
make it.
right.
I hope, you know, he gets in somewhere at some job. I hope someone pays him. I believe somewhere out there is an entity, an organization, a single person that will pay Jack to perform a task in exchange for money.
That will
believe that
happen.
for him.
He'll make it in that regard.
I believe he'll make it in that regard.
But apparently there's like a big employment shortage right now.
Yeah.
So, but he's 18. So the world is so hard and so scary at 18. I'm not even gonna front. Like when I was 18, doing anything was hard. Doing jokes, looking for a job. I mean, come on. And Jack, just keep going, man. Just keep slamming. Don't be like Jack from Titanic. He sunk.
He did.
You're gonna swim.
Ethan, do you have any advice for me? I'm a little bit younger than you. Do you have any advice for me as a growing?
Do you have a specific kind of question?
Not really.
Just advice?
Just advice. Anything you wish that you would have known when you were my age?
Well, to be honest with you, I think you're doing great. I mean, you've got this whole Gecko thing,
Thank you.
which has got to be exciting.
It is.
When I was your age, I dreamed of doing comedy, but it wasn't until I was about 25, 26 until I started pursuing that passion. So you're ahead of the game.
What were you doing when you were 23?
I was just doing a desk job. I was doing marketing, some kind of bull crap.
So I'm afraid that one day, I'll have to, because I used to do like marketing stuff. I'm afraid one day I'll have to go back and do that.
Yeah, that's I had that fear for a long time too.
Yeah.
But let it motivate you.
Okay, I will.
Let it push you.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
To say, I am not going back. I will never go back.
I will never go back.
What are soft spots in your life that you're like, this is something I want to see myself doing better at?
Man. I don't know. I want to get better at talking to strangers on the phone in a Gecko costume.
Okay.
I guess that's the main thing that I do. So I should always be striving to get better at that.
Perfect that art. Right.
I want to get better at talking to people in person too.
I wonder if you could take some kind of, if that's your singular goal.
Sure.
You might want to take some kind of like therapist classes.
And people have always asked me like, people have said like you should like actually go to school and like become a real therapist. I would never want to do that.
No, you don't have
Sounds
to.
awful.
You don't have to commit, but like you could read a book, pick up a book about like the
Sure.
basics of psychoanalysis or
Sure.
therapy.
Interesting.
You could probably pick up a lot of useful theories.
Yeah. I could probably learn as much just reading like one really good book than like going to.
I fully believe that.
Okay, yeah.
Fully believe that.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
What'd you study?
Creative writing.
Do you feel like
No.
you learned? Yeah. No. College is. You can
No, you
they
read
have
one
books.
good book.
You can read an internet article.
And the thing is, like, college textbooks are written so that you don't learn anything.
Really?
I think so. I think they're written in that way. Or if you get like a stupid or like a good like 4.5 star book from Amazon, forget about it.
Also, I feel like when I get like assigned reading in school, I'd be like, oh great, I don't have to do anything. And as opposed to like when I actually have an active interest in a book, I'll sit my ass down
Exactly.
and I'll
You
read
care
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just focus on that. But I think you're good. I don't think that. I don't think you have much to worry about. Just keep doing your thing.
Thank you, Ethan.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Are you worried about like dating? Are you worried about money? How's your money situation?
I'm doing okay. I'm how it is with like Twitch. It's very
It's
like
good.
variable.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably doing. Are you making more than you were at your marketing job?
Yeah.
Yeah, by a lot.
I'm making like about I'm making like about as much. A little bit.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
I see.
But I think the advantage of like the job, of course, is that it's like guaranteed every, that you get your money. Whereas like,
that's the only advantage.
Yeah, that's the only advantage.
But I think someday soon you'll be surpassing that.
Thank you for believing in me.
I do believe in you, absolutely. Wendy Williams is on the verge of tears.
Is that Wendy Williams'
It
voice?
is, yeah. You want to talk to more people? How long have we been going, Dan?
A little over an hour, I think.
What? That's impossible. We've been going longer than that.
Oh, well, I must be wrong then.
Got him.
Let's do it.
Proved him wrong. We're running out of money, by the way, on the call-in studio.
Oh, yeah. How much money is
it? Auto refills.
Oh, it does. Okay.
By the way,
It's a
I'm
certain
looking at
threshold.
this thing right now. I don't know if I've told you before. I use Google Voice.
Yeah.
Which is the most biggest clusterfuck of like.
Does this look good to you?
I'm switching to call-in studio where you can like
Nice.
read everyone. That's amazing.
So here, I'll pitch some deal. Advice on a friend who wants to borrow money.
Ooh.
That's
Advice on how to
pretty
say no.
juicy.
I like that.
You want to do that one?
Sure, let's do that one.
Amber from Wisconsin, 25 years old. Amber, we're here to help. We're here to help.
Amber.
Amber.
Hello, friends. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Amber. You sound lovely. How can we help you?
I am just looking for some advice on not even really a friend. It's an old coworker
Say no.
of mine who has been asking like everyone that has used to work with us for money now.
So
and just
if this is somebody that you're not even close with, why are you even concerned with the thought of saying no? That should be an easy response from you.
because she used to be close to me back in the day, and the only reason we are out of touch is because she moved. But just like me being the helper that I am, would like to try and offer at least advice so she doesn't burn bridges with more people, because it's kind of getting out of hand having her ask for.
You will not. You will not change their situation.
Okay.
You will not change their situation.
Well, that is good to hear.
Amber, would you say that on the whole you consider yourself in general to be a people pleaser?
I try to be as best as I can.
Does that ever cause you stress and anxiety?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Do you feel that maybe someone could help you? It's about time someone, help you out.
Yes, I feel like I definitely need to learn how to redistribute my priorities, but like someone just coming and like it feels like a very like personal one-on-one like request from her. That's why it was hard for me to just say no right away, but it's definitely something I need to work on too. It's just being okay like letting people down.
But it's not a personal request because this person is asking other acquaintances.
Yes, you're right.
Why is this person asking people for money?
I know there is some like drama because of her and her new husband did both lose their jobs last year and are forced to like move actually back with his parents. But I know also like they have had some substance abuse problems as well. So there's a lot of different avenues where this money could be going to. That's why I think me and a lot of my friends are also saying no, because we don't know where it's actually going. And she's been asking for even like $20. And we're like, why? This is even like worth the embarrassment of asking. Like,
that's bad. My assumption would be that it's for drugs.
Yeah.
And usually that is very embarrassing to ask for $20 because it's like, and especially someone that you're not even acquainted with. I mean, it sounds like they're pretty close to. They're in deep, and that's a tough situation, obviously. And I would, you giving them money is not going to. That's a tough one. I mean, it's a no for me though, for sure.
So you're having trouble like mustering the whatever it is to say no, because that makes you feel bad, right?
well, I just don't like. I have no issue saying no. Like, I'm not made of money either, but it's more just like I wish I could be go a step further and like offer advice or like yeah.
I think she doesn't want your advice.
Right.
She wants your money.
Yeah.
And the problem is that I haven't really dealt with someone who's deep into addiction in that way. But like, I wouldn't necessarily even think that was your cross to bear. I mean, she's an acquaintance.
Exactly.
And that's a difficult situation because once you start giving them money, they're going to think you're the piggy bank.
Mm-hmm. You can't take on everyone. I know that you want to, and I really genuinely respect the fact that you're a caring person, but you can't take on everyone's stuff.
And this is far out. This isn't even like really close to home.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like a problem that, like a tumbleweed that just blew across your front door. I mean, this isn't even really something that you need to even really think about taking on.
Right. Yeah. I just needed the reassurance that I'm not a shitty person for just being like, no, and also like, please never contact me again. But I just want to be as helpful as I can because I have no idea really what she's going through. But
I feel like people all the time are like, they're afraid to set boundaries because they're afraid of being seen as a shitty person. But that's what you're doing is you're setting, healthy boundaries for yourself, which doesn't make you a shitty person.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Do you feel like people kind of walk all over you? Is that something that you deal with in your life? Do you feel like maybe people take advantage of you?
Kind of. I'm like reading in chat, like it's just the Midwest personality, and it definitely is that. Like, I think people know that I'm 50% or like way more caring than not caring. So, yeah, I definitely feel like there is some walking over me happening.
Do you feel like that's something that you want to address within your personality to make yourself less easily to walk over? Or are you happy with who you are in that regard?
I feel like I'm happy just being someone like that people can at least reach out to like for advice. But like, I feel like just even being like in college, I feel like money was such an issue with like roommates and stuff like that, that I never want to get involved in something like that again, just because I feel like it burns so many bridges.
Yeah, what happened in college?
Oh, just, I feel like every house situation, like if I had like utilities or whatever in my name, it'd be like I'd move out and then I wouldn't get paid, and then they would make me seem like the bad person for wanting the money that they owe me. But yeah, just more of the like being a pushover, what you've already picked up on.
Yeah, I would just politely say, listen, it's not me, babe.
All right.
But we wish you well.
Thank you for sharing it.
Lots of prosperity, and thank you for calling.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, take care.
Bye, Amber.
Bye, Amber.
Bye.
Oh, we have a recommendation from the screeners.
Oh, what do they say?
There's one about let me see here. This one sounds really interesting. Genetically passed down fetishes.
Ooh.
Hello, Dina.
Let's do it.
Dina, what is a genetically inherited fetish?
Papa bless.
Papa Gecko bless.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hit us.
Awesome. So yeah, I wanted to like kind of talk about that because growing up, I grew up with a single dad, and I had to go on his laptop sometimes to print things out, and I would see like his porn history. And
how old were you?
It makes me uncomfortable because I was the first time I saw probably like 6 or 7.
Oh my goodness. And did you know what you were seeing at the time? Did you understand?
I would say yes. I kind of grew up kind of sexualized at a very early age. So, yeah, I kind of knew what I was looking at. And it makes me uncomfortable because I have like this very similar fetishes to him, and I hate that.
Okay, well let's start from the top. What did you see on your dad's computer?
Spanking porn and bondage porn specifically.
Okay.
How old were you when you sort of started to realize that you like that stuff?
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, thank you.
When I started to know that I was into that stuff, probably like 12. Like I said, I grew up very sexual at an early age.
I don't know how to do this. This is above my pay grade.
I have a solution
Ethan.
when this happens.
You do?
I do. Dina, have you ever spoken to a real therapist?
Absolutely. I've been going to therapy for years.
Okay.
Okay. What does your real therapist have to say about this?
Good call.
That I shouldn't have seen that.
Okay.
And it definitely caused some damage. That's kind of what they said.
But my advice, continue to see your real therapist. Continue to pay attention to their counsel. And I'm proud of you for going to seek out help with this issue from a legitimate source.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I see in the chat people are saying, has he ever spanked you? No.
Didn't ask. Didn't ask that.
Didn't ask that.
Neither of us asked that question. I want to be clear. Nor did I want to know that.
No.
I'm not qualified.
Dina, thank you so much for calling, and continue to see your real therapist for any further information about this.
Of course, no, I didn't want advice, more just your take on it. Like, if you think that that's true, that it's genetically passed down.
Again, I don't know, because there's probably a lot of environmental factors at play. I mean, clearly your father, whatever he's into, or people close around you, rub off on you some way, possibly subconsciously. So, are we talking about, to conduct a real study on that, you would need to be raised separate from your father and then say, this girl likes to be spanked. We know her dad likes to be spanked. They've never met.
Yeah.
That would be proof. But your dad might have big ping pong paddles around the house, or
and too many variables.
Yeah.
For there to be there would have to be a more controlled experiment.
Yeah. So I obviously we're gonna have to get a geneticist in here to give you an answer on that. But
Gecko.
But thank you, Dina. It's a hell of a question.
Of course.
All right. Take care.
Yeah,
Good luck with
Papa
that.
Bye, Dina.
Bye, Dina. Thanks for calling.
Thank
Sorry
you.
we couldn't answer more. It's just we can't.
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dina.
Goodbye,
All right,
Dina.
take care. Papa bless you.
That happens all the time on my stream. Like, if I'll get someone who
Yeah, you handle that good.
And that's why I'm just like, have you talked to a real therapist? And then if they say yes, I'm like, well, what did they say? And then if they say no, well, it's like, maybe you should do that.
But I mean, it's, in terms of all the fetishes, I mean, spanking certainly isn't the worst. I mean, it seems relatively harmless. But when you get into bondage, then shit can get pretty weird.
I think she's just weird, regardless of what the fetish is. I think she's just weirded out by the fact that she has the same one.
She shares it with her dad.
Whatever it would be, just the fact that she shares it is her problem. I think. This is why I could never be a real therapist. What is? I always wonder, in the universe, when you go to study psychology, do you come out feeling adequately prepared to answer questions like that? How do they train you to do that?
I think so, because it's more about feelings. It's how do you feel? It's not about oh, is this because it's about how do you feel? Why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Let's explore that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So it always very much just comes down to understanding why they feel the way they do.
Yeah.
So it could be any situation. Fascinating stuff.
Fascinating stuff.
I need some words of affirmation about asking out the girl of my dreams. Need a compliment boost. I think we already kind of...
Okay. Yeah, we sort of got that with the trucker guy. But
Difficult manager. Give it to the man. Let's give it to the man. Isabella from Portland. Let's give it to the man. Tell me about this manager, and let's try to stick it to him if we can.
Isabella?
It's a little bit of a doozy, though.
Okay, we're here for doozies.
Okay.
First of all, are we talking about sexual doozies?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
You don't want to read.
When you say doozy, I don't know what you mean by that.
better lately. I know we're talking about Ryan Kavanaugh a lot, and he does resemble Harvey Weinstein.
He
I
does.
did
That's
hear
a
that
good
Ryan
observation. Ryan Kavanaugh is the guy who's suing me. He looks just like Harvey Weinstein.
Is that a big meme?
I don't know about that.
No, it's not a meme. I genuinely just think he looks like Harvey Weinstein.
He looks about as much as Harvey Weinstein does. You guys look the same right now.
Isabella, you're breaking up a little bit, but go ahead. What is the problem with your manager? Let's deal with this.
All right, so my dad owns this company, right? And now there's 3 owners. They all have, equal shares or whatever. So we've got it's medicinal cannabis, if you will.
Lays 420. Pound it, bro.
You know the vibe. Well, actually, I don't think you really know
I
the
don't
vibe, Ethan. But that's
Smoke weed every day.
So I'm growing the weed. I'm a gardener. All of that. So it's pretty fun. But then it comes down to the fact that
You know what's
my
this,
manager
Amber?
has.
Or sorry, Isabella, do you know what this is?
What is this?
That's a green thumb.
We need a DJ air horn on that one. Zach, DJ air horn? Nothing? All right.
Wait, now you're asking me for somebody?
Yeah, she is. Hit her.
I think it's a reasonable request,
Yeah,
frankly,
where's the
Zach.
air horn at?
I think it's reasonable.
I'm surprised that's not already mapped to a button.
Zach, she caught you slacking a little bit.
It's okay. We'll keep them low. We'll keep them low. That was great.
Go ahead, Isabella.
All right. So my manager knows nothing about growing weed. I don't think he's ever done it a day in his life correctly. I'm not really sure where they found this guy. My dad's never there. So the other boss, one of the other owners, he's there. And I guess Mother Nature must have died one day and told him that he is it and he knows everything that he possibly needs to know about the plants, but he's killing them. And at this point, he doesn't trust anybody else to take care of. So I'm a manager of a room. I've got 2 big rooms full of plants, 2 big flower rooms, 2 big bedrooms, and he won't even let me water them anymore because he thinks that he can do it better than any of the people who have actually been laboring for the past. I've been there for about a year now, but there are other people who have been there longer than I have.
Shouldn't there be kind of like a brewmaster? Like, you know how like there needs to be like some person who's in charge of the gardening. I mean, that seems like an important job when you're growing a cash crop.
Exactly, and that's where my manager, we could call him, we'll call him Brian. He doesn't have, he's supposed to be, it's called the head grower, the master grower, just like you said.
So he's got the.
And
Well, does he not have?
He makes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He makes, for any bonus that I get, technically any good grower knows you're supposed to get about 2 pounds per light, 2 pounds per plant. That's average.
2 pounds.
So if I get any bonuses for all the hard work that I do, I'm in there every day. I actually am the only one that cuts the plants and propagates the roots for cloning and then grows them from start to finish. I'm the only one at the facility who can do that. And he gets about, I don't even know how much money he gets, but if we get a bonus number, so like our good numbers for our worm harvest, he gets like thousands to where I get about 25% of it. When he doesn't do anything, he just walks around all day, just doing nothing. Like he just pretends like he's working and nobody clocks him on that.
You know, Isabella,
And I'm a lot.
have you ever considered, if you have the skills to grow on your own, starting your, I don't know what the fuck is involved with permits or whatever, but you ever considered starting your own little business? That's the best way to stick it to the...
So I'm really interested in doing that because, I don't know, like I get treated so poorly there. Like I just recently went away for a few days and I didn't even take vacation time. I just made up my time the weekend before leaving. And I still get treated as if I slack off or whatever, which I don't. I think that like I'm trying to get my dad, because he handles more of the sales side of things. I'm trying to get my dad to really see the light, but
the premise of this the premise of this is a little confusing. Your dad is the owner. So if your dad is the owner and this guy is just a manager, you should have no problem taking this up the totem pole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this manager, Brian.
He's the douche that
And
we don't
then
like.
there-
Yeah.
Yes. And then there's this guy, we'll call him Ryan, because we already hate Ryans out here.
Zach is he's bitter about your earlier jest at him.
Well, I'm still bitter at Kraft Mayo for not picking him as the Mayo man.
Oh,
so I
she's
guess
on my
we're both
side.
bitter.
All right.
You just won Zach over big time.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Zach entered a Mayo contest and they rigged it against Dale. No. What's
My
that?
dad is a strict believer of the curse, but I shut that shit down. If I hear any of the Kleinmans, you know, all that
Kleinman's Kleinwater.
Wow, I actually like this person. Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Isabella,
I waited a while and I
what does your dad say when you say, hey, you know, we've got this master grower. He doesn't know what he's doing. The plants are dying. Shouldn't that be apparent to everybody? Why is it that nobody sees what you see?
Right.
So everybody, all the other employees do, and they're all just as frustrated. But the thing is in this day and age, you need to have a lot more of a reason to fire somebody rather than they just aren't super good at their job, I guess.
I'm pretty sure that is a good reason to fire someone.
I agree, but I guess if it's not like malicious intent or anything, then it's a lot more difficult. My problem is that Ryan, the other guy, he is an owner as well. So he doesn't know anything about plants. He owns other businesses. He just owns businesses.
Is he like
And
your
so
dad's friend or something?
I don't really know how they knew each other, but now it's kind of, my dad handles the sales. This guy handles the operations at the grow, and then the other owner handles like the trimming and the production of that. So it's where my shit end of the stick falls is that the guy who's the other owner, I can't. He's so disrespectful. We'll all be standing there having a conversation, and I'll put my 2 cents in, and they'll look at me. And then they will look at each other, and they will just continue to talk as if I didn't say anything or I wasn't there.
They don't respect you. They don't respect your input.
But my plants are always the best. And I have my own plants at home that are outside right now because it's the season for it, and they're doing really well. And so I always say that, and they try to tell me that I can't compare it because it's outdoor compared to indoor growing.
That's what I'm saying. You should go into your own. What do you think about that? Her starting her own thing.
Well, I don't know the logistics of it, like you said, about like, I don't know, like you can grow your own stuff and then drop it off at like a coffee shop, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But one thing I do know is that I'm assuming there's other places to work, right, where people might respect your growing capabilities more, or maybe it's time. How do you get those credentials of being the master grower? Because that sounds like something you'd be good at. How do we get you these credentials so that you can actually come in and say, I am Isabella, the fucking master grower, and you will bow to me?
There is the air horn moment. Yeah. I'm with you because I've been on Indeed a lot lately, last week specifically, because I was caring about it so much because it's not just a paycheck for me at this particular place. It's my dad's whole livelihood.
Does your dad know that you're looking for other jobs because the situation has gotten that toxic for you?
Yeah, he does, because I finally outlined it to him, because I'll go in there and, like, I'm not super tough. Like, I'm pretty sensitive to things, but I try not to get really emotional, especially in the workplace. I've had management roles before. I trained everybody there that, come after me. And I try to present myself, professional, even whatever I'm doing. And I've just come in and just gotten absolutely beaten down because I was putting my heart and my soul in it, and I wasn't eating. I was hardly sleeping. I was living off of, I was just taking my medication and drinking Red Bulls every day, and that was it. So I told him, I'm like, I love working in this. This is something I want to do. But I just can't. No amount of money would be worth my compromising my integrity. So I did what you guys were kind of talking about earlier, and I am renting a botany textbook, an introduction to plant biology from Amazon.
Can I ask you something?
Because I can't. Of course.
Is it possible that this man's a better grower than you give him credit for? Ooh. Because.
Honestly, if he was, then the plants probably wouldn't all be dying.
But how did he get the job? Clearly he has some credentials, right?
No, so I'm not really sure because the people who recommended him to be, work for us when we were in a pinch before, they do not work for us anymore, and they were actually I heard they were bad-mouthing our company on Facebook because they wanted to work from home in a cannabis industry, and that's just not really how things work in that industry. So they don't even work for us anymore. The thing about him is that he doesn't even grow. He doesn't know how to water the plants. He doesn't know how to do all these things, and that's the issue. So now we are being forced to talk to.
I think you've got some fundamental issues at that place. It seems dysfunctional to me.
Yeah. I know I'm like stuck on this, but have you looked into what it would take logistically to start up some sort of business of your own?
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle is property right now and money. I don't have the money to just start up. What is good about it is that my dad has a lot of people in the industry, so they can my plants are all going to be sent out to extracts. My plants that I'm doing out.
If your dad knows a lot of people in the industry, could he help you get a different job, or would that be kind of awkward because you work for his company?
Well, honestly, I think with the direction that it's going in, he doesn't really want to be. If it's going to be the way that they're treating everybody there, they're not really going to have much of a company in a few months' time. Where they once had, he was the sole owner. Now they're bringing other people in. They just won't put any money into it other than standard production costs.
Right, but we're focusing right now on how to make your life better, not on how to make the company as a whole better.
I know. I think I feel bad for them, even though they do treat me like trash.
I think that business is.
I don't know.
If they're hiring master growers that don't know how to grow and nobody's taking accountability, there's 3 owners. I mean, something's got to give here, and it's not your cross to bear, Isabella. And just plant some trees, damn it.
Plant some trees. Some seeds. Water them.
My trees going in Dad's yard, and I don't do much to them, and I cut the clones. I cut them off plants from our facility. I propagated the roots.
Are you high right now, Isabella?
Me? No.
You're not high. Do you smoke frequently?
Yeah, I do.
How often do you smoke?
Kind of why I want this. Well, I start my day off and I take a dab.
A dab? That's pretty serious, right? A dab is like pretty hardcore.
So did you take a dab today? This morning?
I actually just took a dab right before, like a couple people ago, but
And you're not high anymore? I thought the dabs are like...
Yeah, you said you're not high. Can you unpack that for us?
No, I don't retract that. It's like when you smoke a lot, your tolerance goes up. So
how many
so how many
times do you smoke in a day? Would you guess?
Well, probably like 5 times a day. Like I'll smoke on lunch.
I'm surprised that
But that's the thing is when you're functional, you can get a lot of stuff done.
I
But
feel like we're in a very
when you can't,
narrow window here of you not being high, because it sounds like we caught you at the 5 minutes of the day that you're not high. If you're telling the truth.
Well, I know. I'm supposed to go over to my friend's house, but I'm gonna try to get some advice because this is like free therapy, right?
Well, sure. I don't know if it is free, but I don't know if it's therapy.
Maybe do you think your friend will have good advice for you?
Yeah, we've been kind of going through it like for a while, trying to figure out what we can do. But I think you're right. I think it really is just time for me to kind of just build my resume from the experience that I've gained working in the
Isabella,
industry for,
how much do you spend on weed?
Well, actually, I don't really have to spend a lot.
You get free stuff from the place, right? That's what I was thinking.
I mean that's a big perk.
It is.
That's a huge perk because God knows how much you'd be spending if you weren't in that industry.
Yeah.
You know. Well, the good news is.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The good news is if your boss ever pisses you off too much, you can blaze.
You just get high at work.
People say that helps.
Yeah, that's true. I try to do that as much as I can. We got our break in the morning and our break in the afternoon, and I've got my friends that work there. They've become friends with them through there.
What's the company policy with taking marijuana?
There really isn't much a policy for that. There's just no smoking inside. I try not to smoke around my plants. I tell other people not to because I'm the room manager. So that's my big beef is that I try to manage my rooms the way that I want them to be because I've been given that title, but then it ends up always being somebody else because my plants always look great until other people start touching them.
Does Brian get high?
So that's the thing is, no, he typically doesn't, but my little sister brought us these snack bins, and she made some pre-rolls and put them in there, and not a single one of us, the employees, used any of them, and he went out every single day on our breaks, and he was useless. When we went back inside, he was absolutely useless. And that I think that is an issue in itself because if you can't smoke and be productive, then you can't smoke when you're working.
Well, he's testing the inner mechanisms of the product, and that's important when you're developing the product. Wouldn't you agree?
If you already know what you're doing and you can handle it, but I don't know. I feel like if you're supposed to be supervising and you're supposed to be the one that is doing all of this stuff and fixing the plants. My plants don't look good right now. They all look bad. They look great when I take care of them. I take care of them all the way up until they go into flower. The second they hit flower, that's when everyone starts taking care of them, and it's done.
Well, Isabella, we don't want to keep your friend waiting. So thank you very much for sharing this.
You're my best friend, but thank you.
Thank you very much, Isabella.
Bye, Isabella. Good luck with everything.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Zach,
Peace and love.
Zach leaves you with a horn and a gesture of camaraderie to you.
Well, thank you because I was deleted off of the TikTok Creator Fund for posting too many. I don't know.
You
I
can't
wasn't
smoke
posting
weed
any
on
weed
there.
content.
They'll get you banned.
Yeah, I was gonna guess it was because of
I was
weed.
trying to post some plant stuff, but I got
No plants, no weed.
Yeah. That's a tough business. All right, Isabella, take care.
You don't smoke weed.
Mm-mm.
Do people tend to think that you smoke weed? Like, do people
more back? Not so much now, but they used to. I used to smoke weed, but I just don't like it. It's like I wanted to like it. I kept trying to like it, and then ultimately, I just made a decision for myself that I don't like it.
What was like the last straw? What was like the last time you got high and you were like, I don't like this?
Well, I would get very anxious, and I've tried it a lot of times over the years. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it now. and it's just never good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Do you? I get the sense that you are a smoker.
You know, people always think that I'm high because wear a lizard thing, but I don't get. I never get high like while I'm like streaming. Right, like if I were high right now, I'd be
bad.
I'd be terrible.
Yeah, I feel
freaking out.
that. I feel that.
But like after, like late at night, I'll probably get high.
I wish I could do that for myself because it seems so nice.
Dude, I see like, you know, they're like content creator, whatever, people who like, you see them get high and then go do the thing. I'm like, that must be amazing, like to be able to do that. I wish I could.
I feel like I have nothing to help me unwind because I don't drink and I don't smoke, and I am envious of people that have that.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy either. And so I just kind of, but I don't enjoy being sober that much either. So I'm kind of in a perpetual state of discomfort.
You don't have anything that takes the edge off?
Nothing.
Do you masturbate?
Yeah, I masturbate.
Okay.
It doesn't take the edge off, though.
It doesn't take the edge off?
It's more just like, it's like clipping my nails, you know?
Right, maintenance more than anything else.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's not like a hobby or anything.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah.
You ever done ketamine?
I actually haven't. Sounds like, what do you think? Is that a good one? Down in the K-hole?
Yeah. You know, unwind a little bit, just take a little K.
Seems like you need like a long weekend for that.
Do you smoke like cigarette? You ever smoke cigarettes?
I do from time to time. Yeah.
Vape guy at all?
No vaping.
I was gonna offer you a hit of. I don't actually have.
You want to share a vape with me?
I don't have a vape. It was an empty thing.
Oh, it was an empty promise.
It was an empty promise.
Well, why'd you say it then?
I don't know. I just wanted to say something, I think.
And how does it feel now that you've said it?
Not that bad. I sort of took a risk and it didn't work out, but then I don't feel like I'm sitting in anything too terribly awkward right now.
A big lie.
I do kind of wish I vaped though, because the flavors are like.
But do you remember like a few years ago, people were just dying from vaping?
Yeah, they would like explode.
They were just lungs would collapse. They would like hit a vape and their lungs would collapse.
Yeah.
What was it, Dan? It was like weird Chinese knockoff vape juice with like dangerous substances in it.
I think if I remember correctly, there was vitamin E oil or something they were using to like cut it to save on price, and that caused.
Crazy. Which apparently you're not supposed to vaporize and inhale vitamin E.
Yeah, I could be misremembering what it. Oh, the chat's agreeing. They're saying vitamin E acetate. Yeah, is what they were putting in the carton.
Whatever it is, it don't sound good to me. Oh, it was knockoff THC vape.
Oh, it was. That's right. It was right. Yeah. So it wasn't actually like the nicotine vapes that were.
Yeah, that was a scary time. People, that was like, that was a scary time. People were like, "I'm just gonna hit this vape and die."
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard time to be a vapor. I remember. Let's take one more call.
Let's do it.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, your makeup. It's the one thing that fucks up the paint is sweat, but you're doing pretty good.
It's just all on my forehead. You can see here. There's a
Same.
little bit of sweat.
I got a little bit.
No, it looks good. No, you're good.
My
You're
body
clean.
has like I think I've like acclimated well to it.
Yeah, one thing also is I'm trying to keep the shadow out of my face. It seems like your face is really well shaped for it. Like the shadow just stays out. And you got like a nice mushroom head too.
He's still got a little bit of a shadow.
Yeah, I still got, but like I do sometimes feel like my head and body, like this is a one size fits all costume.
It fits you really nice, like around the shoulders. Like mine
Yeah.
puckers up, but yours fits like you were born for this role.
No, my body is fully, designed.
Gecked out.
Gecked out. I wish that I had like I don't know if it's like a fan or something. A fan would be stupid, but like some sort of stuffing to pop it all.
Oh, you could totally do that.
pop
Just
it
get
all
some
out.
cotton stuffing.
Yeah.
For sure. You could sew it in.
Oh, that would be.
You should 100% do that.
I feel like I'd.
No.
I don't know how to sew or do anything.
You would be hot though. Your dome will get real.
I've been running around in the desert in this thing. It's not that bad.
Right. All right, let's take one more from James. 23 has a story. Well, I'll let him tell us. James.
Is that a friend that had phone sex over Discord?
James, listen, what can we do for you?
Oh, shit.
James?
Well,
Well, I'm really happy to be on the show, by the way. Gecko bless.
Well, I'm very happy to have you on the show, James. I speak for myself. Are you happy to have him?
I don't know yet.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy that
so-
he called, but I don't, know the specifics.
We don't know enough about you yet.
Okay, fair. I kind of need advice from you guys because look, a week ago I was on Discord with a friend of mine. We saw that one of our close friends, he was in Discord, he was just sitting alone, so we joined in on it. We thought that he was just AFK, but we hear like rustling and moaning and stuff, and it turns out that he was having phone sex with his girlfriend.
So he didn't know his sound. Was she in the room, or were you hearing him on the phone, and it was coming through the Discord accidentally?
He was like FaceTiming his girl, right? And his mic was on over Discord, and we were listening on the whole thing.
So what?
The thing is,
Go ahead.
okay, he doesn't know that we know yet. So, do I tell him that hey, his mic was on, and we literally heard everything?
It's a little late for that, I think.
Do you
You
feel
think it's
guilty
late?
at
What if
all
I
about the listening, James?
No, because it was hilarious at the time. I was laughing my ass off with my friend, and I had an edible at the time, but so I wasn't thinking clearly. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh, maybe I should
on like
lose
being
this
high
one.
or something.
Yeah, I don't see how that's relevant.
Are you blaming you've kind of violating your friend's privacy on being high?
No, I think it was just. I would say it's more of like his mistake for leaving the mic on. Because look, like literally 3 minutes later, we hear his grandma walk in and like yell at him to do something.
Okay.
So what if I tell him, like, make small talk next time I like talk to him? I'm like, hey, what was your grandma yelling at you at the time? And then just let him like put two and two together and figure it out on his own.
But if he figures it out on his own, then he will then figure out that you were listening and that you didn't tell him. So that doesn't really help you.
I think
I don't know. To be honest, I think this is more of like a laughing experience. I think he'll get a good laugh.
Let's stew on this a little bit.
Sure.
How graphic was this conversation you overheard?
Not like BDSM or like bondage or anything, like over the phone, but like.
Did any of
like,
you guys get
the words
hard when you were listening?
No, definitely. That's weird. He's been like my best friend for years, so.
How do you have bond? I don't know that you can. Okay. So he was in a room by himself. And then how many of you guys heard this call?
It was just me and one of our other friends, so 2 total.
And how long did you listen to him?
I mean, the whole thing lasted for like 5 minutes.
And did he finish?
Because, like, granted, at first we didn't know what was going on. And then we heard the girl over the phone, and then we started laughing.
I see. And so, but did he finish? Do you know what I mean?
Can you hear? Like, could you tell when he finished? Like the climax of it, I guess.
No, because the next thing we heard was his grandma walk in, yell at him, do something, and then he came back, and then he's like, "Oh, you guys are in Discord," and we're like, "Yeah."
So so you guys, by the time you understood what was happening, you listened for how long after you understood what was happening?
Probably like 2 minutes of laughing.
And then Nan came in and ruined the mood.
Yeah.
He probably had his junk out if Nan walked right in.
Mm-hmm. Did Nan mention anything about like, oh, put that away?
Mm-hmm.
You said.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't think so. We didn't hear the grandma clearly. She speaks in different language, so I don't know.
Oh, she
exactly
doesn't.
what she said.
Okay, I see. She speaks a different language, a language you don't understand.
Yeah.
And do any of your how many of you guys were listening in? How many were there?
He said 2.
He said 2?
Two.
Okay.
Well, it's just me and then my friend. So.
And how does your friend feel about it? Does he feel bad at all for the eavesdropping?
No, not at all. He laughs about it constantly. It is pretty funny.
Genuine question. How
Like,
would
look,
you
granted,
feel?
Like, I grew up with these guys. It's been like 10 years I've known them.
Okay.
So
well, I mean, I've known my brother my whole life, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I would want to listen to him have phone sex.
How would you feel if someone listened to you have sex? Would you be comfortable with it? Like if he were listening to you, how would that make you feel?
I think that's also kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
That's kind of what I was actually expecting you to say.
Would it turn you on a little bit to know that like your friend was listening?
No.
No, it wouldn't.
That's not a thing for you.
I'm gonna come.
No.
Do you find your friend or his girlfriend attractive?
No, not at all. Actually, don't even like the girlfriend.
Is it a possibility that you are lying to us, you find them extremely attractive, and you're masking it by saying you thought it was funny?
No. I swear to you guys, I don't think they're attractive.
Can I ask you a question? What was funny about it?
I don't know. It's like this guy's like, I don't know. It was just funny at the moment. We were laughing so hard.
Like what was funny about it though?
What made it funny? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a friendship type of thing. Like we laugh at stuff like this all the time.
It was probably just that you were witnessing this intimate moment and he didn't know, so it was like more like shocking maybe, and that was what was funny about it.
How did you feel like, when you are with your friend, you don't really get to like see or experience the intimate side of them that they reveal when they're making love, and maybe that was funny?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
I guess that's a good way to put it. So, okay. So, honestly, from what I'm getting from you guys, I should just not bring this up at all. Ignore that it essentially happened.
I don't feel like we've put that, and I don't feel like that is the answer that we've put out.
So, what would be the answer? I should never bring this up to him? Or do you think I should, like, one day, or like maybe like in a year down the line, and be like, hey?
Well, hold on. The fact that you're even approaching this as a sensitive topic indicates to me that he might be upset, or that you know that it's an uncomfortable line you've crossed.
Exactly, or else you wouldn't have even called in with it.
Yeah. Jimmy?
I don't know what to say to that.
Right.
Yep.
But do you agree with my analysis?
Yeah, I do. I guess that makes sense.
Right. Do you think he'll be upset that you heard all that?
I think he would be for like maybe a day, but then I think he gets over things fast like this. Like I don't think definitely will never like hold a grudge against this, you know?
Do you remember anything specifically he said that struck you as funny?
It's what she said that we kind of figured it out.
Oh, give me, yeah, what did she say?
I don't know if it's okay to say it.
Go ahead.
Well, she said, we heard her over the phone. She's like, just spit on it. And then that's when we figured it out and we started laughing so hard.
Whoa, just spit on it. So Nana definitely saw something.
That's a little funny.
Spit on it?
Like, I mean, it's not like that, not that isolated, but like their grandma. I mean, that's like an American Pie.
Sure, the grandma falling. Yeah.
Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Spit on it. What do you think she was referring to when she said that?
The what? The like his cock probably.
Right. That's a good assumption.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good guess, right?
Is it eating away at you that like you haven't told him? Is it actively bothering you on your conscience?
No, it doesn't actively bother me. But it's more of like a thought in my like. What if I'm like drinking with him one day and then I tell him like out of the blue? Is that worse if I'm drinking and I tell him that, or if I'm sober doing that?
You're so obsessed with these like states of like I was high when I did this, I was drunk when I did this. Just let it. It's not important. Just tell him the truth. It seems like you want to tell him.
Yeah, I think he would be more upset to find out you didn't tell him.
Right.
Then he'd be like, you know what? We went in. I mean, the explanation makes sense to me up until the point where you figured out what was happening.
Yeah.
And then to the point where you stayed after that is a little odd. But I will say, up until the point where you were joined a Discord room with your friend, and you're like, what is he doing? And then when you realize they were having, so that's easy to explain. Up until the point where you stayed and continued to listen.
It honestly, it wasn't that long. Like it wasn't like a 20-minute long duration. It lasted 2 minutes, and it lasted 5 minutes total. But like by the time we figured it out, like the first minute we were just laughing really hard about it, and then next minute the grandma walked in and then said something, and then my friend came back with it like another minute later.
I mean, one way you could broach it is say, what did your grandma say to you when she walked in when you were jerking off? And having phone
I
sex?
should have done that in the moment.
At once.
I probably should have said that in the moment, but
Because I'm really curious
I didn't
actually
think
what
so.
grandma said personally.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because that might be funny. Because she's
probably
a funny person.
Nana?
Yeah, maybe. She's experienced.
What language is it that he speaks that you don't understand?
Arabic.
Arabic? Interesting.
Call him and tell him. Just tell him. You have to do
Can you call him now?
Can you call him now? Actually, that'd be sick.
Can you put him on speakerphone?
Can you merge
Like,
it?
should I just like merge?
Yeah. Call him and then merge the calls. You know how to do that?
Does he know? Does he know who either of us are?
Yes. Well, he knows you, Ethan. I don't know if he knows Gek.
That's okay.
Okay, but like, so maybe this would be an interesting situation for us all to experience. We'll stay quiet and let you do the explaining. And then if he's okay, I'd like to ask some follow-up questions.
That sounds great.
Should I tell him that? Like, obviously, I should tell him that. Hey, he's going to be on that live stream.
Yeah, you should probably.
Yes,
should mention
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Let me see if he picks up.
Okay, we'll
Great.
stand by.
Do you think he's gonna pick up?
Yes, I do.
I was curious if he was a mod on this Discord, because that would kind of influence it too. Because I've had similar situations, not where somebody was having sex, but where
Great
somebody
question.
accidentally stayed on Discord.
Great.
And when it's our friend's Discord, I'm one of the mods. And so if, for example, I've come in and somebody was on there, didn't realize they were on there, and they were arguing with their wife, which is kind of uncomfortable.
Really great.
And so I used my ability as a moderator to disconnect him from the call. So if you have that capability, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Hello. Okay. Hi. Sorry. So this is my friend Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Hello.
This is Ethan Klein from H3TV Productions.
And I'm the therapy Gecko.
What?
Okay, so your name's Brendan.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to this, I have to tell you, your friend has an admission to make to you, and we are live on Twitch right now. So I want to make sure that you're comfortable with this happening live.
Okay.
Okay, so so James, go ahead. James just shared an anecdote with us. James is going to share that with you now, and then we can have a conversation afterwards if you're comfortable. So James, I'll pass it back over to you.
Hey. Last week, why was your grandma yelling at you?
What do you mean?
Like last Sunday, I thought you didn't. Well,
More specific, maybe, James.
Was she mad at you something, or did she really do something?
How do you know my grandma was yelling at me?
Well,
wait, when was this?
Last Sunday.
Last Sunday, like when?
You know when.
Like around.
You heard her yelling at me?
Yeah. Did you like missing?
Did you hear anything else?
Maybe.
What the? Oh my god!
A lull out.
Look,
are you serious?
Look, bro, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad.
Are you serious?
It wasn't that bad. Look, it was me and Eric in the call.
Dude, does the Gecko and Ethan also know what?
Okay, so we know. Yes, we heard.
Both been informed.
We've been informed. And so
Okay.
and so he was wondering how to break it to you that he heard this conversation.
Oh.
Andrew, are you glad that James told you the truth?
Yes, I am. Because
Are you mad? Is it bad? Like, are you mad?
Am I mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm more shocked and embarrassed.
And
but I'm
by the
not
way,
mad.
because you're
I would
live, I
say.
just want to give you a moment to take it in. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this. You're on the spot. We're doing a live show. I want to give you the opportunity to exit this situation if you want.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear that. So can you tell us what Grandma saw when she walked in the room? And what she said?
Well, I was cleaning up, obviously.
Okay, so this was post. Wow. Okay, so James, you did hear him finish.
Oh my god.
Well, James was uncertain about if he heard the
Yes,
climax.
yes, I did finish. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So James,
Yeah,
were you aware of that?
I was cleaning.
How soon after you finished did Graham walk in?
Maybe like 2 minutes later.
That's
pretty good
So-
timing.
So you're good.
Pretty
Yeah.
close to.
So
it's kind of convenient timing, no?
Grandma didn't know.
And how much had you cleaned at that point when she came in? How much was remaining?
Maybe like there was like 30% left. So
Were you
I was
shirtless
almost
at the
done, but I
time?
wasn't all the way done.
Were you
I
like
was
naked?
shirtless, yes.
And it was on you?
I
I mean, that's quite a predicament for Grandma to walk into.
I had put pants on.
Wow. And Grandma doesn't
But
knock? She just
I
comes right in your room?
Still. Huh?
Grandma doesn't knock? She just comes right in?
No, it just comes right in.
When you say there was 30% left, was it on? Where was it? Was it on your stomach? On the couch?
A little bit on like the floor, on the the floors a little bit. It was on a bed, so there was some on my chest, yes, and then a little bit on like the bed frame and stuff. So I was like cleaning that.
Okay, so now apparently James and one of your other friends joined the Discord and heard this all go down. So how does that make you feel?
So you guys were like spying on me while I was having some sex. Oh my god.
Okay, we didn't figure out what had happened like when we joined the Discord. It wasn't until like when we heard like, some things from the FaceTime call from her. That's when we kind of figured it out. But then, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like in shock.
Yeah, he heard everything. He heard her say, can I tell him what you heard her say?
Okay.
Yeah, she heard your girlfriend or, well, this significant woman in your life asked you to spit on it.
Oh my god. Yes.
Do you foresee this affecting your guys' relationship in any way? Or do you think you'll be able to move past it and resume the status quo?
As the shock is kind of like dwindling down, the weirdness is starting to settle in.
Mm-hmm. Well, James didn't think this would be a big deal. So, James, do you want to explain? Because to me, what I said to James was like, I understand you joined the Discord and you were just going to join your homie. Were you in a private room? How was he able to join the Discord room?
No, it was a public channel. So I'm like, oh, hey, he's here. And
Okay.
then, my other friend and I joined. We were going to play a game.
So you'd forgotten to disconnect pretty much, and you were on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he wanted to play video games with you, but at a certain point when he understood what was happening, he continued to listen. But he said he thought it was
What else? Did you hear anything else besides the spit on it?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
You sure?
Yes, I'm telling the truth.
James has been quite honest with us to this point.
I believe James
Yeah.
as well. I think he's deep enough that he would just.
Are you afraid that you heard him hear something else?
Yes.
Yeah.
What else you say?
What is it you're afraid he heard?
Well, I did. She was. I did tell her to shove something somewhere.
Did you hear that, James, when you were on the call? Be honest.
I swear I didn't hear anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, it's so awkward.
Andrew.
Oh my God.
Andrew, how do you think your girlfriend feels? Is she? I don't want to. Is she a girlfriend or this person that you were FaceTiming?
This person I was, yeah.
Okay, this person that you were FaceTiming with. How do you think she feels about this, or how do you think she would feel if she knew that she was being listened in on?
I think she would. I don't think she would take it well.
Well, let's not tell her.
She's kind of private person.
Let's definitely not tell her.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's
let's
good
definitely not tell.
I think it's good that you guys know, you buddies know, but let's not tell the girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's not tell her. So, are you mad at James, or do you have any questions for James? Really?
Well, I'm not mad because it's my fault, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, in a
as
way,
I'm piecing
certainly.
everything together. Yeah, but
Do you wish
also
James
could've
had?
gone-
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
I had nothing important to say.
Yeah, I'm curious what your thoughts are. If you just want, I just wanted you to get it all out.
Obviously, yeah, I feel weird that he heard me, but I also appreciate the honesty from him at the same time.
There you go. What did you ask her to shove?
She had a thing that women used to pleasure themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was one of those.
Mm-hmm. Was it like in the normal hole or the alternate hole?
It was in a normal hole.
Okay. Nothing to be ashamed of there.
I don't know. Look, we've learned here now the healing powers of honesty.
Well, is there
honesty
anything?
is so important.
Is there anything you guys want to say to each other before we conclude this?
Hey man, I'm sorry for staying in the call, and I love you.
That's very nice.
James, even though you creeped on me having phone sex with this girl,
He did that.
and now people on Twitch TV all heard us have this deep conversation.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube as well.
I just want to say I forgive you.
Thank you. I hope this doesn't get in between you guys. I really think James was just looking for some honest feedback for what he did, and got caught up in the moment and brought you on. So, I think James really does care about you as a friend, and I hope that you can remember that going forward as the road to forgiveness.
I'm really proud of both of you guys.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your relationship perhaps has gotten stronger as a result of moving past this?
Too early to tell.
Too early to tell.
Yeah. I think it'll make us stronger. I think actually.
That's awesome.
Level of.
And as I understand it, as I understand it, you're Muslim or Arabic, and so
Arab.
Me being Jewish, I'm also circumcised, so I understand the need for spitting on it.
I'm Jewish too.
Yes.
So are you circumcised?
I'm circumcised.
So we have that in common.
Yes, I am.
He has a massive penis.
Lots of lubricant is needed.
So, and it sounds like you and your girl have a really healthy sex life libido.
Yeah, this seems like a new sort of budding relationship, and I'm really excited for you to see how it plays out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
James, are you circumcised?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you also understand the spitting on it to act as a necessity.
Yes, I do.
Right. As all uncircumcised or circumcised men would for sure.
Do not come.
Well, guys, listen. Wish all the best for you guys. Really. And James, the next time if you walk in on your friend having phone sex, what are you gonna do?
Probably leave the Discord and message him and be like, "Yo, you're still in the Discord."
Bingo.
Love that character.
That is such a good answer. Such a good answer.
So proud.
Not just to leave, but to warn.
69.
Lots of growth today.
Definitely lots of character development here. Do you each feel like you've grown as individuals as a result of this? I know I've asked about the relationship, but how about your own personal ability to be honest with the people in your life? Do you feel like that's grown?
Well, I think my ability to check if I left the Discord server or not has definitely grown.
Sure, absolutely.
Huge. Don't forget that one.
It's very important.
And I'm very happy that Nana was none the wiser.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing Nana would not have liked that scene. Did you not lock your door?
No,
I mean, how are you gonna get it?
I don't
Forget
have a
about
lock on my
Discord. What about the door lock?
I don't have a lock on my door.
You better put a lock on that door, dude. Because you were 2 minutes away from lifelong trauma.
Right? Oh my God, she would have beaten the shit out of me.
She would have beaten you up?
Yeah.
Would she have given you time to put your dick away?
I don't know.
No, you're the better.
Yeah, we don't need to ponder on such issues.
So thick.
James, are you seeing anyone? Do you have a girl in your life?
No, not really.
Okay, here's a compromise. Andrew, would you listen to James having phone sex as a way of equaling the scoreboard?
That's a great idea.
That's Yoko.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want him to also feel this level of embarrassment.
You wouldn't do that to him.
So I wouldn't do that to him. Yeah. But if he maybe left his Discord open on accident, and I happened to join thinking we're gonna play a game, and I heard that, maybe I would stick around for a little bit.
Okay, so maybe not as much growth as we had thought.
But then
not much has changed since the beginning of this call. Yeah.
I would tell him.
Well, guys, Andrew and James, I wish you guys years of happy gaming. And, spit is not the most sanitary lubricant, so keep something nearby. That's
Not
Do you have
soap,
any
though. Don't use
recommendations?
soap.
no, not soap.
I learned that when I was very young.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the first things you learn, really, as a young man exploring.
I used like Axe body wash.
Oh,
burned.
It's all kinds of perfume and shit and that. That'll be bad, 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 bad.
Chemicals are not good for your penis.
All right, guys. You take care now. James, thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for all the help.
All right. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.
Wow. People thought that was fake. It was so good.
You know, at the end of the day, I always say, you know, it doesn't matter if it was real or fake. We experienced it.
It
the
was
same.
real, though. It does matter.
It was real. Well, because our experience of that call is the same regardless of any events that happened in the entire world previous. So that's why the realness of it ultimately doesn't
But when
matter.
yeah,
'Cause
it
our
does.
perception of it is the same.
But it was real.
But it was real.
Yeah.
You guys think it's a joke? I was unsure until he brought the friend in. Unless the friend was like the best actor in the world.
No,
I
that
think
was 100% real.
Yeah.
You know, I props to both of those guys because you gave Andrew the like some time to dip out if he really wanted to.
Yeah,
he
because,
held through.
you
Of course, I
know-
understand. Of course, that was the right thing to do.
You know, you got to be like springing on this live. You got to be like, you know what, dude?
Yeah.
You can exit this situation.
Yeah, yeah. But he trucked on through.
Well, we kind of did it for Gecko Talk.
Thank you so much for having me.
Gecko, Lyle Forever. We're going to drop links in the description. He's on Twitch. He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. Great highlights there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was wonderful.
It was nice.
Did you enjoy getting to speak with members of your audience?
I did a lot. Yeah, it was nice.
How did this go compared to like? I know you said you took calls like 2 years ago or something like that.
Good.
Is it? Do you feel like it's gotten better?
No, it's great. I like it. Yes, it was very good. People were having great great comments, for great questions. The screeners did a great job. Shout out to them. And thank you for everyone who was calling. And apologies to people who were on hold who didn't get through. Obviously, we didn't get to take all the questions. So, you know, that's what it is. Well, guys, we will. This has been H3TV. We will be back with families at the regular schedule. So, peace and love, peace and love. Is this what we do?
Of course. Thank you guys very much for having me. This was very fun.
All right.